Hey everybody, what is going on? It's your girl Shaquan from SLFX Trading, and in today's video we're going to be going over 2 pound currency pairs that I believe can have some really good potential today and maybe in the future. So let's go ahead and let's look at the first currency pair. Now I want you guys to walk alongside with me. It's gonna be a step by step, so make sure you guys are following along. You're seeing if you can answer these questions for yourself. You're seeing if you can see the same thing for yourself, because this is the most important part to becoming an independent trader, which I love helping people become. People who can make their own trading decisions without always needing the help of someone else. The goal is for you to be independent so you can make your own money, because if we say trading is a business and you're the boss, you're the business owner, a business owner makes their own decisions. So let's go ahead and see how much you guys know, and if you need more help, guess what? You get to email me because it's down below in the link, okay? And if you want to work with me, guess what? The link below to work with me is down below. So within the next 6 weeks, you're able to make your own decision. So let's see what's going on here. Now, this is pound JPY. We have a blank chart. There's nothing on it. This is a naked price chart. If you say, Shaquan, I want to be a naked forex trader, or I mean, you need to have clothes on, but if you say, Shaquan, I want to be able to read the chart with nothing on it, this is the starting point. So let's work it. If I were to ask you, what is the trend? And keep in mind, we're on the weekly time frame. We want to see as least information as possible so we can see more of what's going on a bigger scale. So if I say, hey, what's the trend? What could you tell me the trend right now? Now, I'm hoping that you just said an uptrend, and here's how we can tell. So just by looking right where we are, we don't need to go to the left. We have enough information right here. You can see that, look at my mouse, price is just going up. That's an uptrend, okay? Now, if we wanted to break the information down more and say, well, since price is going up, what does that mean for us? Up, buy. Because when market is going up, that means the buyers are in the market, right? So that's another starting point. If the market's in an uptrend, you should have confidence to say, well, I want to be the buyer since this thing is going up. But now let's dig a little bit deeper. The next question is, where's the best place for you to buy? So we're going to be going through that right now. So let's go. Let's put some information on this chart. Let's update it with our chart art. Okay, that's what I like to call it, chart art. So I want to put more information on here. I want to see what the most important buyers were. Let's look at the fluctuations in the market. We can see here that as the market was going up, it went down, it went up higher, it went down lower, but then it's going back up. So let's kind of name these highs and low peaks right now. I'm going to start over here. I'm going to say this wick or this candle before price drop, and we're going to kind of zoom in so you can see a little bit more. 152.575, just in case you can't see this, I'm going to call the number out. 152.575. Okay, cool. Price went down. Still a bullish market. Bullish means to buy. Still a bull's market. Then price ended up dropping to around 148.483. Okay, cool. Well, I know that market pushed back up, but then it went higher. Now, hear me well what I just said. I just said that the market went higher. And how do we know? Because price passed 152.575 yen. Let's stop here for a quick second. Because price went higher, and I want you guys to visualize this with me. We're on pound JPY, the Great Britain pound versus the Japanese yen. These are two currencies. It takes two currencies to make a currency pair. So we have the Great Britain pound, and I want you guys to imagine you're holding it. And then we have the Japanese yen, and imagine you're holding it. If you don't know how these currencies look, I urge you to use Google to see how these currencies look, because they're tangible. You can hold these currencies if you buy them physically. And if you go to an ATM overseas in their own countries, you can actually hold these currencies, or a bank wherever you live. Okay, you guys get the point, right? So we have pound JPY, we have pound Japanese yen. Okay, cool. TradingView just restarted itself, it's fine. All right, now, so what's happening is you have the base currency, the quote currency, or the currency that you can buy. So as price is going up, let's picture this. Anytime price goes up on your price chart, that means that the first pair has value over the second pair. So because price went higher than 152.575 yen, once it went up higher, what this means is that it's going to cost the people who live in Japan more money to buy the pound. That's why I said that price goes up higher. Okay, it's going to cost them more to buy 1 pound. So at this point in time, that means that the pound has more value over the Japanese yen. But then price ends up going down. But guess what number it never passed? It never passed the lowest highest number at 148.483. Instead, what price did was it stopped above that number. And how do we know? Because we're watching the candles. We had a beautiful inverted hammer, which is stopping power. And then we had a beautiful subjective bullish engulfing candle the next week. Or you can say it's another inverted hammer, which is another stopping power candle. The buyers came back in the market and push price higher, which is why now price has made a new higher high. And what this means is 154.855 is higher than 153.395. What this means is the people who live in Japan have to keep paying more for 1 pound. But does that mean that we as the trader want to buy high? Because that's what this is called. You're buying at a high price. We don't really want to buy high. What we want to do is wait for a pullback into price, right? So I want to see, and watch how I do this, watch how I say this. I don't want to buy at a higher price, because if price pulled back here and here each time it went higher, I'm hoping it can do the same thing. But what I'm hoping price can do is stay above the last highest low price, which is at a discount. See, instead of buying at 153.395, as long as price stayed above 148.483, you're buying at a discounted price. So I'm hoping that price can pull back, stay above 149.036, not touch it. We don't want it to touch this number. If it can show us some bullish information, then we're going to become the buyer. So let's drop down in time frames to see how this can look. Again, now keep in mind, I'm on a weekly time frame, which means we're about to break down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these candles. Okay, so let's go down to the daily time frame and see what's going on. We have the same bit of information here. Same information. Now, I want you guys to hear me well. If you've been trading somewhat in the market for maybe over 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatsoever, and you say, well, Shaquan, when I drop down in time frames, price looks like it's doing something different. I want to challenge your mind here. Now, remember when I just said that price is in an uptrend? Do you still think price is in an uptrend on the daily time frame? I'm hoping that your answer was yes, because if it is, you're correct. The reason being is because when you drop down in time frames, the bigger candles that you just saw are just being broken down into more candles. It's still the same information. It's not doing anything different. What you're thinking is, well, price is going up on this time frame and down on the next one. That's a difference in trend cycles, not your trend. And I love teaching trend cycles because it's so beautiful. It's really interesting when you break this information down. But what I'm looking to see is if this is at a high peak, price is high right now, can price continue down lower to stay above 149.036? See, those numbers did not change. Those numbers did not move, which is why I'm saying that price is still doing the same. So what I want to see is if price can come back down just a little bit lower. Now I'm drawing a zone from me, and that's why I asked you guys earlier, what is the best price for you to buy? Now, this is going to be personal to you, and let me explain this. Some of you guys who's been trading somewhat in the market for quite some time, you're going to use different things. Maybe you're going to use a trend line, or however you're going to be drawing your trend line, right? It's really up to you. There are different ways to draw a trend line. I'm really aware of that. Okay, some of you guys are going to be using support and resistance depending on how you plot your support and resistance. See, for me, I like to think about supply and demand. I want to know where in an uptrend, where was the last push for buyers for me? So I'm more so focused on the higher lows. Or in a downtrend, I'm more so focused on the lower highs, not versus the higher highs in an uptrend, or for me personally, the lower lows in a downtrend. I'm more so focused on deeper pullbacks. And that's just me personally how I teach. works out pretty well too. Okay, so I want to see if we can get a deeper pullback. Once again, price needs to stay above 149036. So for me, per the daily time frame, if price can pull back to 149.987, around 150 yen cents, then I'll become the buyer. Now, if you're still thinking that, okay, watch, maybe Shaquan, maybe once again, if you're the support and resistance trader, maybe you want it to, stay a little bit higher. But let's talk about sentiment for a few moments, okay? What if you are using something different, but we're both wanting to buy at cheaper prices? Are we both looking at different information? No, we're not. We have the same sentiment. You may just want to buy at a higher price while I'm looking to buy at a lower price. Sometimes, babe, I may be even looking to buy at a higher price, and you might look to buy at a lower price. But it doesn't mean that we're wrong if we're looking for the same thing. And that's the thing that moves direction. The majority of people who believe something can happen, right? That's what it's all about. So, what price do you want to buy pound JPY at? Mine is personal, and the way I teach my members, they'll know what these zones are. Once again, it's based on supply and demand. Now, notice how I didn't go to the left for that information. I didn't have to go to the left because I know exactly what I'm looking for on this time frame. And I'm not a firm believer of look left, structure leaves clues. I'm not. Now, there's no dig at anyone who does believe in that. Sometimes you don't have to go too far to look for that key piece of information. When price moves to the right, it's already giving you enough that you need to know. It just depends on how you're looking at it and what you're trading and the information that you uphold. So let me know here, you guys, do you see the uptrend on pound JPY? If price pulls back, where do you want price to stop so you can have a buying point? And what's your target if it does pull back and you can become the buyer? I give you guys my take profit. If price comes back down to $150, my take profit is just back up to the high at 154.83. And then I'm done. And that's it. Now, this is a future trade. Now, let's say price goes higher. What am I planning to do? Well, if price goes higher, I'm just going to keep being the buyer. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily keep pulling back because the momentum can change from here. While it may be pulling back a little bit now, it could just say, Shaquan, I just want to keep shooting up. And I am going to adjust myself with that. That's it, and that's all. But if it pulls back a little bit deeper, I'm okay to wait till it gets to a point where I can say, okay, I'm going to trade her. Okay, so that's pound JPY. Let's go over to the next one. The next one that we're going to take a look at is going to be pound USD. Now, this one may be actually giving me something to trade today if everything works out. So I want you guys to look at it from here. Let's zoom in yet again. If I asked you what is the trend, and let's take everything away for a second. What's the trend right here? What could you say? Now, if you say, Shaquan, we need to go a little bit left for, more information, I'm going to disagree with you. We don't need to go to the left to look for more information. We can actually stay right here. Trust me, this is all we need to know. Now, I'm on a daily time frame right now versus being on the weekly on pound JPY. Here's why. Pound JPY is a little bit more broad in trend, meaning it had a bigger move up than pound USD. Pound USD is kind of narrow right now. Let me explain this to you guys. So let's look at the highs and lows again. Once again, the high peak here at 1.41 or $1.41. And then we had price push up from this beautiful doji plus confirmation candle at $1.40. And price has gone up higher to $1.42. So what does this mean? Pound in one hand, the United States dollar in the next hand. And what this means is this. The people who live in the United States, as long as this price on pound USD keeps increasing, and I live in the United States, if I wanted to travel to the UK or anywhere in the UK, it's going to cost me more to buy 1 pound. So the value of the pound is higher than the value of the dollar. That's all that means, okay? This is how we know price is in an uptrend because we can see the numbers are fluctuating up. It's more narrow because it's a quicker and tighter range in the middle. Like this was a small pullback, price goes up. So what number do I want price to stay above? $1.40. Literally just that simple. And if she can pull back, which I had a zone here, you guys, so I'm going to put a zone right there. Okay. So if she can stay above $1.40, not touch $1.40, but stay above $1.40 and give me some information, I want to trade her. Now, typically my take profit will be back at the high at $1.42, but if I were to buy her right now, and if I had a stop loss and a take profit here, my risk reward would not be really good. So what I'm going to do is use a fib. Okay, I'm just going to have one ascending target to the negative 27. That's all. So depending on how price closes today, if I like the way she closes, if I can get a really good risk to reward, I'll be more inclined to trade her to the upside. Now, if I don't get a good risk to reward, guess what? I can sit on my hands and I'll be fine. I'll be okay. That's all right. I like to follow my rules when I trade. Okay, so that's just me personally. Now, you guys may be wondering, will I drop down in time frames? No, I won't drop down in time frames. I like to stay in a daily time frame. One of the reasons is because I get, 15 minutes to trade a day, meaning I'm going to come to my chart at between 4:50, 4:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll take me a few minutes to put in my trade. I'll let her run to my take profit. It could take a few days, maybe a week or two if there's some type of consolidation, but I'm done. A few minutes of work for a few hundred to a few thousands of bucks. And that's it. That's all. So it doesn't really have to be complicated when you know what you're looking for and you're trading your trading style, and you have simplified knowledge that you can actually understand. And that's what I like doing. So let me ask, do you see the same setup on pound USD? Even if you use something different, were you able to follow? Is it something that you could do for yourself? Or is it something that you need to learn how to do? Either or. Hey, if you need help, link is down below in the description. And if you got it and you say, Shaquan, bet I'm gonna be trading something different, but I see what you were doing. I like how you were doing it. I got my own setup. I see the setup as well too from my side and my perspective, how I do things. Then leave a comment down below and let me know. So I hope you guys like the video, and also to be sure to follow me on Instagram, because next week I will be doing a series that I am teaching probably over the next few months, to be honest with you guys, on Instagram, and I may even be doing it over here on YouTube too. I'm not yet sure how I'm going to be doing it, but I know I'll be going live more on Instagram. So link to my Instagram is down below as well too. So love you guys. Y'all stay blessed. Have a very, very safe trading week.